welcome back. Now, following 2 years of war, 4 bereaved Israeli and Palestinian families are coming together here in the UK to transform their pain into what they hope is a force for reconciliation, dialogue and, of course, lasting peace. Together, they'll lead a series of events designed to inspire understanding and empathy. The visit marks the first time that the UK Friends of the Parents Circle have welcomed members to the UK since the October the 7th attacks in 2023.
Yeah, well, joining us now is Ibrahim al-Jaafri, whose cousin was fatally shot earlier this year, and Mai Ablini Peri, who lost loved ones during the October the 7th attack.
So thank you
so much, both of you, for joining us. First of all, Ibrahim, tell us what's brought you here to the UK. You've got a series of events planned. Explain a little bit about what you're trying to achieve.
So the PCFF is a place where bereaved Israeli and Palestinian families use their sorrow for understanding and dialogue instead of revenge. And we are trying to spread that message and trying to get it across to people that this way is possible. And we have proved that through a lot of our events and a lot of our activities.
I mean, it has to be done with you guys. Mai, I want to bring you in. Before we talk about your role in this, just tell us about what happened with your family. On October 7th.
On October 7th, first of all, my uncle was actually a British citizen. He was born and raised in Manchester most of his life. He was just there on a visit. He was supposed to have a flight back on the same day, which unfortunately he didn't make it. My grandfather, who lived there for the past 60 years, was kidnapped into Gaza, and he was being held hostage for about 4 months until he was killed, and his body was recovered back to Israel a few months later.
I mean, the stories of pain that we're feeling around this table are huge. You guys are young men. It's up to your generation to try and bring this together. How do you think that divide can be bridged through people like yourselves?
I think, first of all, as Ibrahim said, dialogue. We think it's kind of a proof that we can work things out with each other. We've been trying wars for so many years now, and it never brought us anything. And my grandfather also was a very big peace activist, and as many Israelis, he was also a soldier. And he fought many wars, and coming out of those wars and still fighting for peace and wanting peace for everybody on the land, Israelis and Palestinians. For me, that's like a proof and a very big inspiration for me to carry on his legacy.
And Ibrahim, tell us about your own loss, what your own family has been through, and how hard it is to talk about peace when you have lost someone close to you.
Right. So I have lost my cousin when I was 9 years old, actually. And at that time, I didn't fully understand the meaning of death. I only understood that his mother was screaming his name and only silence followed her screams. And it's definitely hard for someone full of sorrow and a feeling of revenge to talk about peace. But when you understand that this is the only way possible, this is how it can be effective, how it can be meaningful. That's the only way.
Ibrahim, it is the only way, of course, for people to live in that region of the world. After what we've seen for the past few years, with the 70,000 Palestinians killed, 1,200 Israelis taken hostage, and the pain that has been caused there. You used the word revenge a couple of times now. Do you think that there is enough feeling among your generation, and perhaps the politicians, the leaders really need to hear this, that revenge, that sort of recrimination cycle that we've been in can be over after this one? Or do you have hope that can happen?
Well, the hope, I have hope myself, but the thing is, why I keep doing this is to spread that message. If it was already there and everybody understood it, I wouldn't be doing this. So this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm spreading the message, so we can have enough people to believe in this so that it can actually make some change.
Mai, do you agree with that? And given where we're at the moment, a ceasefire has been agreed. There is hope that a wider peace deal can be settled on, but there are still a lot of questions around that, aren't there? How do you feel that now, how important is now in bringing people together, do you think?
Yeah, so I think the past 2 years have been probably the hardest regarding the conflict that's been going on for 80 years. And you hear people saying, like, I've been a very strong believer in peace and being a peace activist until October 7th, but now we don't believe in it anymore. But I take my hope mainly from the history. I think there have been such bad conflicts and war, some of them much longer. And when I look at our personal history of the Jewish people and the Holocaust, everything comes to an end eventually, and I have the hope that we will solve it eventually. I keep saying, if not me, then my children, if not my children, then my grandchildren, if not them, then my great-grandchildren, but eventually it's going to happen.
With that thought in mind then, to both of you, what do you want to see from leaders? You've got a prime minister in Israel who's been criticised for not ending the war sooner when he could have. You've got a president in America who could have perhaps put more pressure on, has finally brought the war to an end in some respects. And you've got leadership in the Palestinian Authority, which many people find ineffective. What do we need in terms of leadership on both sides of this to try and bring this to an end?
Listen, we are not politicians, and we are far from being politicians, but the leaders could learn a bit from how we understand each other so that they can advocate for understanding as well. We have proved time and time again that it is possible to sit on one table, and the leaders can learn from that.
You agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I want to see leaders that want to, first of all, speak to each other, sit at the same table, trying to get to some understanding. War should always be the last resort.